Did you know that 60% of adults in the US are financially illiterate? That's right, most people don't know how to make their money work for them. They know how to save, pay bills, and manage debt, but they don't invest. And this is a huge problem because without investing, you'll never build real wealth. Here's a shocking fact: the average return on the stock market is 10% a year. But most people don't even see that return. Why? Because they're too scared to invest, or they simply don't know how. Meanwhile, the wealthy are building their fortunes by investing in assets that grow over time, while the rest of us miss out. In this video, we're going to change that. I'll show you why investing isn't just an option, it's a must if you want financial freedom. You'll learn how to use strategies like leverage, overcome emotional investing, and start thinking like a bank. The truth is, you don't need millions to get started. You just need the right mindset. Ready to stop being financially illiterate? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Financial Literacy Trap. Are you a victim? You've probably heard the term, financial literacy, tossed around, but what does it actually mean? Most people think it's all about saving money, budgeting, and avoiding debt. But here's the harsh truth: if you're only doing these things, you're not financially literate. True financial literacy goes beyond just managing what you have, it's about understanding how to make money work for you. And many small business owners fall into the trap of believing they've mastered their finances because they can keep their bank balance in check. According to a study by the National Financial Educators Council, 60% of adults in the US are financially illiterate. That means they understand basic concepts like saving and budgeting, but when it comes to investing or wealth building, they're in the dark. So, if you're not actively investing, you could be among them. Here's an interesting stat: the average annual return on the S&P 500, which is a good measure of the stock market, is about 10%. If you invest $1,000 today, and leave it for 10 years, it could grow to $2,600, assuming you get that 10% annual return. Just imagine what it could do with 20 years or more. Now, let's talk about entrepreneurs. Many small business owners are so focused on managing day-to-day operations that they forget about one crucial thing: investing in their business and themselves. The ones who truly thrive don't just keep their business alive, they make strategic investments that grow their wealth. It's not enough to just keep the cash flow positive. To be financially literate, you have to understand that investing is how you build long-term wealth. Without it, your business might survive, but it won't scale. The wealthiest entrepreneurs are the ones who use their profits to make more money, either through investments or reinvesting back into their businesses. Think about the big players in the game: Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett. All of these people have grown their fortunes not just through hard work, but by making calculated, smart investments. If they had stuck to just saving and managing their income, they wouldn't have amassed the wealth they have today. If you truly want to succeed, you need to embrace financial literacy in its full form. It's not just about knowing how to balance your budget. It's about actively putting your money into things that will grow. Without that, you're missing the point of true financial education. Chapter 2. The Real Cost of Not Investing. You're paying with time. Here's something most people overlook: every day you don't invest, you're paying a hidden cost. And that cost is time. Time, unlike money, is a resource you can never get back. As an entrepreneur, you know the value of time, but most people fail to connect the dots between time and money. When you don't invest, you're effectively letting time slip away without earning anything from it. Take this into account: the earlier you start investing, the more time your money has to grow. This is the magic of compound interest. For example, if you invest $1,000 at 8% annual returns for 20 years, it could turn into $4,661. But if you wait 10 years to start, that same $1,000 would only grow to $2,158. The difference between starting now and starting later is 50%. That's not just a financial loss, it's a loss of your most precious resource. As a small business owner, you're constantly making decisions. But one of the biggest mistakes you can make is ignoring how investing early can save you time and boost your financial growth. And here's a unique idea. Rather than only looking for investment opportunities with large returns, focus on investment opportunities that save you time. Technology, automation, and outsourcing can be game changers for small businesses. Every dollar you put into systems that free up your time can lead to exponential growth. Instead of working 80-hour weeks, think about how you could use investments to create more free time and focus on scaling your business. Time is also a cost when you think about missed opportunities. Every time you choose not to invest in your business or financial growth, you're essentially letting an opportunity pass by. That could mean losing out on a real estate deal, a business partnership, or a stock that could have generated a substantial return. Many entrepreneurs are stuck in survival mode. They focus on immediate cash flow and short-term survival rather than building wealth over time. But those who think long-term and actively invest in their business and personal growth are the ones who will have the most success. When it comes to investment, remember that time works for you when you use it wisely. So the next time you think about putting off an investment, ask yourself, how much time am I really losing by waiting? Chapter 3. The Side Hustle Syndrome. Why it's keeping you broke. Let's talk about side hustles. You've probably heard the advice, get a side hustle to make more money. But here's the catch. While side hustles can be a great way to earn extra income, they often don't lead to long-term wealth. A study from Bankrate found that 44% of Americans have a side hustle. But most of those side hustles are just a way to make ends meet, not a vehicle for building real wealth. The problem with side hustles is that they typically rely on trading time for money. You work more hours, you make more cash. But this doesn't scale. To truly build wealth, you need to transition from earning active income, side hustles, to earning passive income through investments. Let's break this down. Say you're making $500 a month from a side hustle. That's great in the short term, but it requires constant time and effort. Now, imagine if instead of spending all that time working a side hustle, you put that time into investments that paid you passively, like real estate or stocks. You could build a portfolio that eventually earned you money while you sleep. According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, most side hustlers don't save or invest the extra income they make. They either spend it on lifestyle upgrades or simply don't know how to make that money grow. This is a huge missed opportunity. Here's a unique insight. The most successful entrepreneurs don't just have one business or side hustle. They have multiple income streams that are fueled by investments. For example, they may have a successful business, but they're also investing in stocks, real estate, or even other small businesses. This diverse portfolio of investments allows them to accumulate wealth from different sources, rather than relying solely on one active income stream. So, the key to escaping the side hustle trap is to shift your mindset from making extra cash to making my money work for me. Start thinking of investments as the real way to scale your wealth, not the hours you put in. Yes, side hustles can provide quick relief, but investments are what will get you to the next level financially. It's time to stop thinking of your side hustle as your ticket to wealth. Instead, think of it as a tool to fund your real wealth building strategy, investing. The real question is, how can you make your money work harder for you, rather than just making extra hours work for you? Don't forget to subscribe. We'll dive deeper into how you can use leverage and make smarter financial moves in the next chapters. Chapter 4. Leverage like the wealthy. You don't need money to make money. Here's a little secret. You don't need to be rich to become wealthy. In fact, some of the wealthiest people on the planet didn't start with a pile of cash. They started by using leverage. Leverage means using borrowed money, partnerships, or resources to multiply your returns without having to put up a lot of your own capital. Consider this. You don't have to own a building to profit from real estate. You can use leverage by taking out a loan to buy property. By renting it out, you earn income while the value of the property increases. Even better, inflation tends to increase property values over time, giving you an asset that grows in value with little input from you. Leverage is why people like Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, have become so successful. Kiyosaki talks about using OPM, other people's money, to build wealth. This means you don't need to have your own cash in hand to make big moves. Instead, you can use investors, banks, or even your own business's cash flow to invest in opportunities. A key example is the concept of debt leverage. Borrowing money to buy an asset, especially when the asset produces cash flow, like rental properties or businesses, can be a smart strategy. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, often says, "The more you learn, the more you earn." And learning how to use leverage effectively is key. However, many entrepreneurs fear debt. But here's the truth: when used responsibly, debt can be a powerful tool to grow your business and wealth. The richest people in the world understand that not using leverage is one of the biggest financial mistakes. They borrow money to grow their businesses and investments, letting their assets pay down the debt for them. Take a moment to think about how you could use leverage in your own life. Could you borrow funds to invest in a business venture, real estate, or stocks? Or could you partner with someone who has the resources to fund your ideas? The possibilities are endless once you understand that you don't need to start with large amounts of capital to become wealthy. The key is understanding the right kind of debt. Not all debt is bad. In fact, using good debt can push you toward financial freedom. The secret is to borrow in a way that the asset you're investing in brings in more money than what you owe. If you can do that, you're on your way to mastering leverage. Subscribe now and don't miss out. We'll dive into how emotional investing can impact your finances and how to avoid common mistakes. Chapter 5. The Silent Killer. Emotional investing. If there's one thing that can sink an entrepreneur faster than anything, it's emotional investing. Whether it's fear or greed, emotions often cloud our judgment when it comes to money. We've all seen it: the investor who panics during a market dip, selling at the worst possible time. Or the entrepreneur who gets too greedy and invests all their money into a hot opportunity, only to watch it flop. Did you know that research shows emotions can have a profound effect on financial decision-making? A study by Dalbar found that individual investors earned just 2.6% annually over a 20-year period, compared to 7.7% for the overall stock market. Why? Because emotions led them to buy high and sell low, the opposite of a smart investment strategy. Emotional investing often comes from fear or excitement. When people fear losing money, they make irrational decisions, like selling off investments at a loss during a market dip. Conversely, when people get overly excited about a potential opportunity, they invest too much too soon and end up losing everything when the market corrects itself. The best investors know how to separate their emotions from their financial decisions. They follow a system, a strategy, and they stick to it, no matter what. If you're investing emotionally, you're setting yourself up for failure. It's like driving with your eyes closed, hoping you'll make it to your destination. To avoid emotional investing, create a solid investment plan. Decide in advance what types of assets you want to invest in, and what your risk tolerance is. Stick to your plan, even when things get rocky. Don't chase the latest trends or panic when the market takes a dip. As the famous investor Benjamin Graham said, the investor's chief problem, and even his worst enemy, is likely to be himself. Here's another tip: use automation. Set up automatic contributions to your investment accounts so you don't have to think about it. This takes the emotion out of the equation and ensures that you keep investing regularly, even when you feel nervous or tempted to stop. Remember, investing isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. The best investors stay calm, stick to their strategy, and make decisions based on logic, not emotion. If you want to win in the long term, You need to train yourself to make decisions with your head, not your heart.